What's this? I found something.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Wouldn't you like to know?
Back for a return visit? Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Do anything that will protect against void-waking.
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void-woken? God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel.
Yep. Back for a return? Have at it. Got yourself situated.
What kind of rat would sell such
I'm
things?
all right, as long as...
Yep.
Starving. The rest of this
You're
town.
safe among friends. Never forget.
It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Speak. Driftwood is the same as every other fishing town. It's got the same aroma and the same herds of unwashed. The void, though, it's closing in. Void-woken roam the land and pollute the sea. That they haven't invaded the town it's a miracle. As long as you stay put, you'll be safe. As long as there's no sorcerers, there's no void-woken. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
You poor dwarf. Do you even know what they've done to you?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, two lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands.
Step away from the prisoner, dwarf! She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Maester Seaver. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor.
Do you even know what they've done to you?
What have you heard? Have you heard that they killed our beloved Alexander? She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her, at least as far as... She wasn't there when Alexander fell. But what? You're going to... What, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. I'll regret this, I know I'll...
Do you even know what they've done to you?
The lizard hangs from...
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or, indeed, you could stand there gulping as if I just ran off with your femur. You might not have the brains anymore, but I pray you've managed to keep some wits.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and growls.
Melody is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it. No offense meant towards your own venerable. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength. It seemed Dallas had ordered that I be... Now that you have had that... Be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister might return? What are you waiting for? Do it, damn you! God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, best scurry off before that Magister wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. Nothing wrong with the classics. Everyone's got a melody in them. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo could... Yeah, I use rosewood mostly. Play him too, of course. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. I hate the Magisters for what. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than... Come back if you need. I'll be whittling away. Useful? Sometimes you're best leaving past where it is.
I should neutralize this thing before it does damage. Up ahead, Paladins. The famous divine protectors of Arks. I wonder what they're doing here, so far from home.
Halt, traveller, if you please. Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. I dare say you have adventure. Still, you want to...
Burning Voidwoken. The stink upsets me. I don't know why. What's this? I found something.
The skeleton is old enough for flies to have eaten its flesh, though some of its owner's clothing still remains intact, including a belt with a gleaming buckle. The belt may have been gnawed by rodents and reptiles, but the name engraved on its buckle is unmistakable: Victor. You see no blood or signs of struggle. The earth beneath is slightly cratered. The bones look properly intact.
Well, here's one corpse that never got a proper burial.
Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
Gareth toils in monotony. Gareth freezes, then turns slowly towards you. His breaths are steady, his voice a monotone.
I'm digging my murdered parents' graves.
Gareth moves to continue his task, but his cadence...
No, of course, Godwoken. I've seen Seeker. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
Gareth shies away from you. His eyes pass over the half...
Comfort! Even Lucian has none to spare. I've prayed to him, an endless litany. How many tears do I have to shed? How much? No comfort amongst them.
Gareth forcefully exhales and looks...
If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have said they were the only ones. Today, though, I don't know. The Paladins once fought the Black Ring at Lucian's command. The most courageous... I've no use for empty platitude.
You swear you hear Gareth's pulse, galloping faster than a saddled mount.
If you want to help, then you find the craven wight that ordered their slaughter. Anyone that stands
His clenched jaw tightens further, and then, in an instant, Gareth's guard is broken. Tears well in his eyes. With every blink, a pearl of grief falls to his cheek.
My parents, they did nothing to deserve this. They were good. Honest. More honest than me. I'd give my own life to bring them back. I never got that last chance to tell them I loved them. I never got to say goodbye. You're right. There's nothing more to be done here. Lucian, forgive me. And please, Godwoken, please forgive me too.
The two paladins Gareth mentioned are arguing in front of the door to the...
We're guarding this house. Wise to stay well back. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did.
They didn't kill anybody. The Magisters who control them did. You know.
But they did turn her.
No, wait!
The other paladin...
In any event, it's our business, not yours.
You can't do that. They were people who were...
You're right. You'll remember her.
Paladin William.
But, fine.
The lumpen, silent monk stands like a pillar of decaying flesh. So still it seems he is not even breathing. All of a sudden, like a bellows, he exhales a fetid gust right into your face. The stench of rot shrouds you, coating you in a way you feel. This dwarven monk hangs his head, as if looking down at his feet. A wretched staring down into his face, you realize you were staring into mutilation. He has no... The silent monk, one of her hands trembles. Twitching, it reaches out to you. Her hand is cold and smooth, like that of a porcelain doll. Jerkily, her lips part, and her mouth moves. Or, slay me. Or did you only hear what you wanted to hear in the whispers of the wind? Slipping your hand free from hers, you back away and leave.
This Magister didn't die by a sword anyway. Something's afoot here.
bloody shambles, this.
He takes a pull from a water canteen, then splashes some over his blood-stained hands.
No, it ain't mine. A sorcerer few these void woken appeared, thanks to him. It was messy. A lot of the locals didn't make it, and those that...
Any trace of gratitude for your help against the void woken drains away in an instant.
Take my advice and don't say another word, hear me? So they'll all get what they deserve. You can join them if you like. Otherwise you can shut your trap. What the hell do you think it means?
He pats the pommel of his sword, his hand still tinted with dried blood. Little doubt whom it belongs to anymore.
Good choice. Now make another good choice and don't let me see you around here again.
The stench of dead void-woken assails you. The thought occurs, sorcerers caused this.
To think, this destruction could have been averted if sorcerers had shown some restraint.
Villagers. Some slain by Voidwoken, others perhaps not. These people were slain by blades, not Voidwoken.
I'll give you fair warning, stranger. Turn around and get out of here.
He throws a kick into the ribs of a nearby corpse.
Looking around? Unless you've got Magister cloth or lying dead in the dirt, you've got no business. Innocent.
He gestures around at the Voidwoken.
They forced our hand. We've got to do whatever's necessary to hold the rot at bay.
Smart move.
An executioner's blade hovers inches above a young woman's throat. The nearby magister drones a prayer with all the passion of a silent monk's empty.
The divine does not absolve a traitor of his grace. You've tended not to the seed the seven have planted without...
He gives you a cool look and nods to a bloody corpse.
That's the welcome the Crossleys give to law-abiding magisters. Sorcerers, though, they get bathed and fed.
The young woman squeezes her eyes shut in terror, but says nothing. The executioner raises his blade.
He also claimed that all it takes for evil to prevail is for virtuous men to do nothing.
He finishes the death rite.
And so on your flesh it must feed.
The executioner moves to his next victim, a young man who promptly spits in the Magister's face. The Magister scowls, wipes...
A tyrant! The gods will see me...
The executioner's blade drops with a sickening thud, and his eyes turn to the remaining victim.
The divine does not absolve a traitor of his grace.
The Magister ignores you, and...
You've tended not to the seed the seven have planted, without faith...
The executioner's face is as empty as void itself as he swings.
And that's that. So that's the way of it, is it?
hurts, doesn't it?
No harm will come to you. When he comes out, lads, kill him.
He gives you a blank. He drapes. He turns towards you. Then he breathes deeply through his nose.
Since when does rape hire mercenaries? The sorcerer is trapped in the cellar beneath the house. He's dropped one man. Seen a wound before, have you, Merc? That blade was touched with sauce. Killed galleons. These papers say you're an inquisitor. Fine. The job's all yours. Stand back, lads. The Merc's here's gonna show us how it's done.
The thought occurs. The Magisters have strayed from the path of Lucian.
Their dedication to their cause is almost admirable.
The man brandishes a sword, ready to fight. A curious weapon, simple but weighty. It seems out of place in the hands of a simple worker, if that's what he is. You have your doubts, for the sword exudes an evil power.
Back, Magister, or I'll cut your guts for ribbons like I did the last fella. Like I don't know that? They think I'm a sorcerer. They're wrong. My sword? Let me tell you something. I fought in the Great War. I took this weapon from a Black Ring scout I killed with my own bare hands. Then I came home to work, and work I did. And what was my reward? This is my reward. My house burned.
He gives you a long look. Then, with a flourish, he spins the sword towards you, hilt first. It's a simple weapon, weighty, well-made, and well-maintained. It's clean, but it feels tainted. He nods. You turn away.
Stand back there! Stand back there! Stand back there!
Ha! Did you fail, Merc? You'll have to do better than that, Merc. I'll need proof. I'll be the judge of that, Merc. I've had enough of you, Merc. Get in!
This is my dad's house. Sorry, Dad.
This was my father's house.
He sighs.
Well,
if he were the crime...
Who are you?
Suspicious, he examines...
I apologize.
I didn't know. Admission granted. You, there, just doing my job.
Realizing it's a lost cause, he swallows hard, then gives you a stiff salute. He stands to attention and
You can nosy around camp, but watch it. The docks are restricted. Even I'm not allowed. If you come back
Looks like trouble ahead. The Divine Order kind of trouble.
two white magisters are discussing the fate of three magically bound captives. Captives clad in the dark shroud of the Black Ring. Noticing your arrival, the magisters step back and take hold of their weapons.
You're not Magister.
Indeed. And your presence is most unwelcome.
Those whites are hypocrites. Every last one of them.
None of your business.
There you have it.
The two magisters whistle up their source hounds and advance upon you, deadly intent dark.
Hounds, take them down.
not have outlived your usefulness.
Magister.